Oh,
Buenas.
hello.
Okay. Hello, everybody. Hello.
Hello,
Well,
everyone.
this is the second attempt because we were trying and the system failed before. So maybe we can try to see that the microphone is working. Okay. Maybe we can. We did a new link. We did a new link. So I don't know if the people can get it. Okay. And so the sound is okay now?
Yeah.
Okay, muchachos, muchachas, good morning, everyone. Okay, Nia, if you are listening to us, you can share the link in the line group of the school of architecture because we are going to talk about how to study architecture abroad, and we are going to have here the experience of Shrek from Cambodia.
Hi, everyone. My name is Shrek.
Shrek, is that your name?
No, it's actually my nickname. My real name is VITHIA.
That is the pronunciation. It's not VITHIA.
No, it's VITHIA. That's why it's hard to pronounce for foreigners. That's why I changed it to something familiar.
I see.
So Shrek.
So I was the whole year calling you VITHIA.
Yeah.
You never told me that was the correct pronunciation. Okay. Well, Shrek is from
Cambodia, Phnom
It's
Penh.
from Cambodia. Okay. The Shrek that I know is the one of the movie.
Yeah, the green
It's
guy.
the green. How is that? The green. What is that animal? It's ogro in Spanish.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know how
yeah,
to
it's
call it in
ogre to
English,
gore.
right?
Yeah.
And why you choose that nickname?
Because it was my Instagram name when I was in high school. But then, like when I came here, the first class in freshman, the professor asked, "Oh, you have any nickname?" I never thought about any nickname. So then, I wanted to not take myself that serious and something that people kind of familiar with. And then I just watched Shrek. So Shrek it is. Then I just put in Shrek as my nickname.
Actually, Shrek was a very popular movie when I was studying architecture. I think it was in the 2001, the first one.
2001.
And I remember that there is a scene of the movie that Shrek is walking on the sunflowers with the other animal, no, the donkey.
Yeah.
And I remember that I need to do a landscaping on the drawings of my project in the location plan. And then in that moment, we don't have internet images on the internet so easy. So I remember to take a picture of the TV,
Wow.
go to my computer, do a photoshopping, print out, cut with paper, and do a collage. with all
That's
that
the original
images.
collage.
That
right?
is, the original collage coming even much more.
I see.
But in that moment, we were working like this. There was no all these softwares and all these things that you guys are using.
Even AI now. We're lucky.
Even AI. Yeah? Actually, we are talking here about architecture. So, it's Red coming from Cambodia, but he's studying architecture in
Thailand.
in Thailand. So, Thailand and Cambodia, very beautiful story, right? What happened there?
It has history.
Difficult to avoid.
It's a touchy subject, and as a Cambodian study in Thailand, of course, there's a lot that we need to think about or stuff like that. But it's just a history taken way back like 100 years ago, and it got better around 2000 something, right? And then it become like neutral, and then lately it become worse.
And do you feel comfortable talking about this?
More or less. It's okay. It's not. It's like the topic that is unavoidable in a way. As a Cambodian, especially living in Thailand, so yeah. But I've been living here for almost 5 years already, so nothing ever happened, and it's comfortable here for now.
Okay. I mean, that is a part of the history, with the French people and the colonies period and everything, I mean, the people that want to know more about it, I mean, they can check by their own, because here we are going to talk only about architecture.
Yes.
Right?
Yep.
Yes, sir? Huh?
Yeah. Maybe politics, but politics in terms of concept idea or urbanism or something like that later on.
Yes.
But
that should
nothing
be
too sensitive.
And Shrek is from Cambodia and from Spain. There are a historical connection there. in terms of what happened politically in my country and what happened politically in your country.
Yes.
But I want to know because the different my generation, your generation, there are big differences.
Yeah.
I mean, in terms of the age, huh?
Yeah.
Very old already. Huh? But in which year you were born? When?
So I was born in 2003.
2003, and
Yes.
then can you? Because 2003, now we are 2026, so it's like you were born in the 21st century.
Yes.
So you didn't know anything about the 90s, about the 80s. All this thing is
Yeah.
history for you. So when I grew up in the 80s, the 90s, I was in the university. I started university and finished university in the moment that you were born. 2 years later. And then how is for a kid to grow up in Cambodia? How is Cambodia?
So for in my case, I cannot just say like for as any other case, but in my case, Cambodia. When I was born as a kid, Cambodia was for us is we're born with a national pride very strongly. So then like the love of Cambodia was very heavy, and then we always think that Cambodia is the best country in the world. Cambodia is this, right? But later on, some of those have changes, or in my opinion, Cambodia is still the best. But as a kid, those were the things that were taught in school and were told by the elders, I guess. Yeah. So Cambodia is not really a rich country back then, but in my experience as a kid growing up, I was surrounded by a lot of education stuff. So actually, my mom was a teacher, and my dad he worked for an NGO, a French NGO, and he helped build a lot of library in the rural area of Cambodia. So as a kid, when I was around 4 or 5, the NGO would quote unquote invented a mobile library. So it's essentially like a renovated van that they stuff a bunch of books in it, and then those van would travel across the provinces
Wow.
to the rural area to open the size of the van up into a library, and they would have activities at a pagoda. So then the kids who is even orphanage, or the kids who haven't even hold a books one, they get to hold it, and they were excited whenever
everybody can go there and borrow a
yes,
book.
You can borrow a book. So then they would have a list actually, like, okay, Monday they would go to this area, and then they would set up in this pagoda. Then if you want to borrow a book, you borrow it, and then the next week when the car return, you give it back, and then you borrow another one. You can even borrow toys and stuff like that. So then those were the challenges. So I used to go with those cars, and then I was 3 years old, so I would travel a lot every time I have weekends.
So you were when you were growing up, you were surrounded by books.
I was surrounded by books. Yes.
History of books.
History of books. Yes.
Do you remember which books? Any that you remember? I mean, books from the east, book from the west, a mist. Books talking about Cambodia.
It's mostly book about Cambodia, and also like about animals, and the NGO that my dad was working for. They translated a lot of manga, like those Japanese anime book, and then they bought the license, they translated into Cambodian. So I used to grow up reading all of those as well.
Wow.
But the one I remember my first I would say like a grown up journal, like book novels, was a book called Luk Srai Kon, which is the boss daughter. It's about the book I related to it a lot because it's one of my favorite book ever, because it's talking about how the daughter grow up as a teenagers, and they rebellious energy towards their parent, and then throughout the whole story is a conflict between the daughters and the parents, and then at the end, parents go far away for some reason, and then she realized that, I need to be mature, and I need to appreciate the parents and stuff like that. So that is one of my favorite books, because Cambodian is a very conservative country. In that book, it talks a lot about, it focuses on the teenagers rather than you're a teenager, you should go to school, you should obey. It doesn't. It talks about the normality of how a grumpy teenager can be, and it's normal in life as a person growing up, right? So I remember when I started to read, I read that book and it feels like, oh, I love books. So so the book is just not about, oh, you need to go to school.
So
you
you,
need to be
you
a good
get
student.
used to read books in your a kid.
Yeah, so basically, that is, and the public library that I went to.
You use one word that is very sensitive in my country. That is conservative.
Yes. How is it? How is it sensitive?
In my country is very sensitive because whatever that is conservative is like it's difficult, it's not flexible
I see.
enough, and then it's like we need to go. It's like it's talking to the past of the country.
I see.
So then when you use conservative is something that is very it's like the male has certain advantage about the
It's
female.
more like gender stuff.
Yeah.
I see.
So then there are differences growing up being a boy or
Yeah.
a woman in Cambodia.
Yeah.
Politic, eh?
Actually, yeah. It's quite conservative in that way, and also as cultural way as well. But in the gender equality and stuff, I could not talk for everyone. But even as a kid, at the public Cambodian school, when I was a younger, those things I can actually see, and it's nothing is fair for that time.
So still need to improve
Yes.
things. Huh? All the societies, I think, that they need to work on
Yes.
this to get the equality. What is the moment that being kid you start to have some relation with the architecture? Because you grow up there, you have, well, we didn't talk about, you talk about books, no? Did you play some sport being
Yeah,
kids?
I do.
Which one is the national sport there? Which one is the one that you guys practice the most?
During my time, but now it changes a lot. But during my time, we were big and heavy on taekwondo.
Taekwondo.
Yes.
Wow.
So I was a kid. The first sport that I trained professionally was taekwondo, and some of a mix of the judos, and then I stopped. I got very fat because I some hospitalized condition. I came out of the hospital. I was so super fat, and then my dad started to appoint me, to put me into the tennis team. So I trained tennis professionally for the Cambodian.
We never
national
played
team.
tennis. I played tennis.
Yeah.
I didn't know that you
I
play,
stopped
no?
long ago.
Then
I played for the national of Cambodia for I think around 3 years because they scouted at my elementary school. I stopped tennis and I started doing bicycle. So I would bicycle from one province to another.
Nice.
Yes. Yeah, and then swimming also. Swimming, I was in the national team as well. But then like I stopped after a knee injury.
And now you are already 20 plus?
Yeah,
Do you
23.
practice anything or not? 23?
23, I do a little bit of boxing and mostly gym. And
Boxing?
Yeah.
You mean Muay Thai? Or?
No, it's a professional, conventional boxing, normal boxing.
Okay.
Yeah.
What is the Muay Thai is from Thailand or from Cambodia? Another
Tricky
sensitive question.
I think it's from. I would say it's from both. I mean, like every country shares culture. It's not just Southeast Asian. We can see everything in other Europe country as well. So yeah, it's
difficult to put up.
It's belong to the people of that region. We cannot just pinpoint. Oh, I invented this at this time or date.
That is true. That's why maybe the nationalism sometimes doesn't make sense.
Yeah,
to put barriers. Huh?
Yeah.
When is the moment, Shrek, that you start to know about architecture, and then you start to think that maybe you would like to study architecture?
Basically, architecture back then now is so famous in Cambodia, which is very impressive.
Really?
Yes, it's like it's like everyone knows architecture and everyone want to do architecture now. And there's a lot of nice, cool niche firm that's popping up as well. But when I was younger, it's not that long. But when I was younger, no one really into architecture that much.
So now it's trending.
It's a trending, yes. It's a trend. It will be architectures and IT. Yeah, so those are the big that they into.
Is
right
there a
now.
lot of construction ongoing now in
Yes,
Cambodia? Or?
yes. There's a lot of construction going because like I think it started to push even harder after the new airport was built, and then everyone's like, "Oh,
fantastic!" No,
Yeah,
Norman Foster.
Yeah, by Norman Foster. and the new airport was built. Everyone's like, oh, so this is how far architecture can bring up the whole urban. It's not even just one land. It's just the whole area right now is become like very developed already. So right now people are very into architectures as well, and a lot of good architecture from like Bloom Architect, where I proposed as a facade design, but then I didn't do the project yet. And some of the Re-Edge, those are idols for me because like they're Cambodian and their project is very good as well.
And then the numbers of architectural firms in Cambodia, I mean, it's quite elevated. It's quite nice.
Yes, it's very.
So become very competitive, or
yes, it's very
still you can
competitive too.
open you finish maybe here and then you can open your business in Cambodia and
I think
successful.
Yeah,
or it's already
it's
very,
already
very,
big.
very a lot of companies there.
It's a lot of companies there, but those company those firms, they differentiate themselves differently. Like, okay, one of this is always doing residentials. One of this is more invested in terms of a governmental building, and one of this is educational building as well, something like that. And then one of this is just doing pavilion, and abstract art gallery collection and stuff like that. So I think the market to open firm in Cambodia, I mean, I haven't have any experience yet, but I feel like it would still be able to do as well because everyone is have different tastes, and if you stand out enough, I think you will be fine there. Yeah.
And then you like to, which type of architecture would you like to explore if you go back to your country?
For me, I'm leaning toward more of modern architectures.
Yeah.
Modern architectures and innovative, but I'm not saying futuristic, quote unquote, per se, because I'm not really into the organic shape or something that is too futuristic. But modernist for me is what I like, because I like an architecture that address either issue or the activity or the urban situation of the space. So that's what my idea as an architect thing when I approach a project as well. Yeah.
That's interesting, because maybe later you can show us some of your work, talking about that, no? But the moment that you already know that you will study architecture, I mean,
so it takes way back.
It happens something, no? Around
Yeah,
you that maybe you think maybe that is my future.
Yeah, because it takes way back since I was 6 years old. I believe it or not, but growing up as a kid, I always, because you're always worried that what you're gonna do in the future when even you're as a kid. But for me, I thought about it in terms of realistic way. For example, I look at a lot of movies or book. They say a kid's like, oh, when I grow up, I want to be an astronaut, or I want to be the prime minister of the country. But for me, it was more realistic dream. I don't look at those as something achievable in a way, which is sad. But growing up in Cambodia, you have limited on your dream in a way. But architecture wasn't big, and it was known for being the hardest subject ever, besides medical school. So then I was like, then I could even think about, oh, how can I study architecture? Because you have sleepless night, you have to think a lot on this, you have to address everything that you know. So then it was always at the back of my mind, but then I was always want to challenge myself. Like, if I were to have study a subject, why don't I go to the top one, the hardest one that people were saying? And coincidentally, like, my uncle was also an architect as well, and he was already established architect in Cambodia, where he preserved and kind of mixed Cambodian traditional vernacular houses with modern architectures. So he was kind of the I wouldn't say the first, but the earlier people who combine those two, which is traditional houses, Cambodia, with modernism.
Well, can you, because when we are talking about traditional architecture, I mean, we are in South Asia, so when you are talking about traditional architecture, means timber construction or concrete, or what? Can you elaborate that? Can you explain that?
For Southeast Asia in general, traditional architectures, it would be vernacular, like timber construction, but it's not like mass timber that we know right now for in the.
Well, that is a modern technology.
Yeah, it's more than, but it's more like a wooden house. I think you can see a lot in Laos, Cambodia, and also Thailand as well. And some of those it's just basically a wooden house with ornamentation or decoration of the roof, and then they also focus a lot on the design of the roof as well. Some of the richer, quote unquote, richer people who own those houses would have like an open courtyard where there's a bunch of houses around, and those things you can see in Thailand as well, and also in Cambodia.
So it would be interesting if you can mix also this traditional thing with the modern.
Yeah.
There is one architect from that I like a lot from Sri Lanka, that is called Jeffrey Bawa. Okay, and then he mixed the tradition from Sri Lanka and then with the modernism that he studied, and then he make a mix and then become this tropical architecture that they follow. Architect from Singapore, Kevin Hill, or here in Thailand, Bim Bensley.
Oh yeah, Bim Bensley. Yeah.
I think that you are familiar.
Yeah.
With this, but before that, let's talk that. Okay, then you decide to study architecture, right?
Yes.
Then why you don't study architecture in Cambodia? We are here in Thailand.
Yeah.
Then you decide to go abroad.
Yep.
What is the thing? You want to study abroad or?
Yeah, essentially that way, because let's be honest, educational system in Cambodia is limited.
Okay.
That get out of the way, that one. So and for me as a person and then my family, we always give value to education. So I always want to get the best education. So then after my high school, like we were applying for college, I actually applied to a university in Cambodia. It's a public university. It's very famous, the Royal University of Fine Art in Phnom Penh, where my uncle graduated from there as well. And they are more like a traditional curriculum in terms of teaching, where you have to be very good at drawing and fine art and those stuff. So but when it comes to the design and ideas, I feel like it could lack a little bit, and I want to explore more. I want to connect myself more into the outside world than being a conservative traditional architecture in a way, which is nothing, no problem, because if some people is into those stuff, then it's fine. But for me, I want to explore more in a way. Then the first country in my mind was not Thailand. It was America, because the American dream.
But which America? This is another joke. In which America? Because America, there are so many countries. So which country of America are you talking about?
America is a United States.
What is America?
The United States, the eagle.
This colonialism, because America, also Chile and Argentina is also America.
Yeah.
Okay, so we need to be more specific.
Sorry if I offended anyone. But the United States, the freedom.
Okay. Then there is something. Well, you talk about, actually. Once I remember, I talked with a group of students. I don't know if you were in that moment, but there was a Cambodian student who were drawing a timber house, traditional timber house, once that I was teaching in the second year. And then they draw very fantastic drawings. I remember to take photos and download that file because it was really fantastic. And then they told me that they come from this school of fine arts. I don't know, it should be some colleagues from your same age as you, maybe from your batch, or if not, it's the one that I have now. And then they draw in a very traditional way, isometric drawings with the construction details, that they draw with a section, they color in black. So it was very fantastic drawing, very outstanding. And then they were telling me that they studied the second year there, and after that they moved to study in Thailand.
I see.
And then they were telling me that knowledge, that education was very traditional. They couldn't see modern ideas, or that this was really traditional, very conservative.
Yes.
Again. Okay. Then at the end, you come to Thailand.
Yep.
Okay. How is the experience teaching? I mean, how is the experience learning in Thailand architecture?
Learning architecture in Thailand was amazing, honestly, because I know for all the school, but in this school, I feel like it's more of a westernized and European style, and it's not really Southeast Asian ideas per se. That's what I feel. I feel like, I mean, like I don't know if it's normal because I bring this up, but I feel like students have more and freedom to express their ideas a lot, and that's what is my biggest shock. Like like dressing on express yourself in terms of ideas or architecture or how you express yourself by clothing. It's normal. It's not like no one gonna scold you because you express yourself as a person, and which is a surprise here when I first come here as a. It's a culture shock in a way, but in Thailand and Cambodia, it's almost the same. So that is the only culture shock that I
When
had.
when you enter in the school, do you know to draw already? Do you know how to draw architecture or or draw technical drawings? Let's say.
No, I
So you learn
started
everything in the school, in the architectural school.
Yes.
It was difficult for you to learn how
In
to
ABAC?
draw. Yeah.
Oh yeah, it was very difficult. I was
I need
not.
to say that we are here in Assumption University. This is the design studio class. Okay. So then we are using this thing to create the postcard.
Yes.
To share the experience of SREC.
Yeah.
Learning architecture abroad in Thailand.
So it was hard for me, and to be honest, as a freshman, I feel like it was only me that is having difficult time.
Brilliant.
Yeah, because my batch, as you know, my batch, everyone is so good. Then when I come here and then like I did my AR drawing, architecture drawing studio, and some of the visual design and stuff like that. Some of the basic, very basic, even fundamental stuff. I could not understand anything. Even though I understand, but the way I approach it, I don't listen to the professor, and the way I research was so shallow. But I feel like it was only happening to me.
Really?
Yeah, I feel like everyone got their stuff together already, and then oh maybe it's just me, it's just not for me, but I stick to it, I keep doing it, and then I think around second year that I started to understand what is an architect.
So the point is like when you start to study architecture in my school, in my period also, no, the first, second year you draw by hand.
I see.
Okay, to be familiar, and then you jump to the to draw on computer when you are at the end of the second year,
Yes.
third year. No? But when I enter in the school, also, I mean, I know how to do technical drawings because the high school. But remember the first semester that the teacher, in the drawing class, came with one very famous house, Villa. I forgot just the name. No? Villa Carpa, no? Or something like that. In Italy, one very famous house that is on top of one rock on the water, and then said you need to do the isometric, the 3D, right? In that moment is by hand, and then later on, once that we do it, we need to cut the house and show all the program, all the house. And then it was like coming from the high school, and it was just to do just one little box like this to see the opening, and suddenly you need to do a big house with 2-3 stories, and then it's like in the first 4 months. So studying architecture.
Yeah.
So then we learn that thing, and you learn by mistake.
Yeah.
Because you start to draw, the paper get dirty because you don't know how to use and clean the rulers, right? And then start to do it. You see that the location, once that you put the drawing, right? Maybe the location of the drawing is not in the center, then you need to do it again.
Yeah.
So it was like a nightmare, but at the end is the way to learn, no? By mistake. And then later on, when you know that, because you have already the mistake, then you know how to do the compositions in the beginning, measure how much is going to be the site, and then you do the correct composition. No?
Yeah.
But later on, I mean, come with the technical drawings in the computer. And how are you? Are you good drawing on computer, or still things to be learned? Or
I mean, it's always things to be learned. You cannot learn anything. So even I'm 100 years old, I would say that there's more to be learned as well. But I feel like in computer right now, as a 5th year student, I feel like I'm decent with it.
Yes, you can.
Yeah, I can do all of the work that I did in my computer. Yes, but I wanted to practice more in terms of hand drawing and sketching. That's why I started to sketch more on my idea conceptually better. But then I produce it on the computers mostly. Yeah.
When you sketch, you mean in the iPad?
No,
or
on book,
paper?
on paper book. Yeah, because I mean, it's good to mark down some of the smaller stuff, but sketching, I feel like pen and paper feels better. Yeah.
So then now that you are in the 5th year, what do you recommend it to the people in the entering in one school of architecture?
First thing is this is I wish I knew this sooner too, is to not be intimidating. Like people would say like, oh bro, if you come to architecture you won't be able to sleepless night. I mean, part of it is true, but if you time manage well you would never experience those, and it's I mean it too. Because like you have to plan ahead in terms of like, oh, you this is your final submission date. I, professor would tell you like way beforehand, even before the course even started, you know it already. Then you would plan ahead like, okay, I take this few days to do this. If you plan it ahead, it won't happen. Like you have to pull all-nighters and stuff like that as well. So one advice is to not be intimidating. Just do it. If you love art, if you love painting, if you love sculpture, do architecture.
Yeah, man.
Anything at all in terms of art, architecture is cover everything. This is my opinion.
Yeah, that's very good. And then from the first year until, well, now you are in the 5th year doing your thesis.
Yes.
The way of thinking, how do you develop the way that you think? How the first year when you look architecture, and now when you look architecture and you think architecture, can you tell us how this thinking has been developed?
Oh yeah, this is actually it's actually a very good question as well, because when you after you finish all of those years, you look back and say, oh, that's what it meant. So here is my take on it in a way. I feel like first year and second year is when you're not allowed, or in a way you're not knowing what you are as an architect yet. So you have to follow rules quite stricter, in my opinion. In terms of concept, sometimes you don't know what you're talking about. And if the professor say, oh, this doesn't work, sometimes you should listen, right? So you should listen.
Sometimes you should listen.
You should listen. Sometimes. Yeah, you should. No, you should listen majority of the time, especially if you're in first year, because it could be hard, but sometimes we don't know what we're talking about as well. Like we just too dreamy, or we have a different opinion on what an architecture is. That's when you have to learn the basic first, which is very, very important. How to cut models, how to draw. Your hand drawing is good because you know what mistake is. You create your self-discipline. You kind of immerse yourself into architectures, right? But after second year until 5th year, that is when you're starting to have more experience. You'll be able to express yourself more. You know what you're talking about, so then you can convince, even if your idea is so crazy, and you produce a research to back up your idea, you can convince any professor in the school too. Because like now we have a saying that now your saliva is salty, which means like people recognize your word more because you know what you're talking about. So in my opinion, first and second year you should follow the basics first to kind of rub your feeling, and it's almost like the school is holding your hand right now to oh, you should do this, do this. Yeah. And after you can become your own self as well.
And can you explain what is the thing that you saw that the education system was focusing the first year, second year, and then the third, fourth year? You see differences? Or?
Yeah, I see the topic of research or topic of the project and the way the professors talk to students is completely different. So in first and second years, majority is like the professor have an idea on what the outcome of the students' work should look like, which means like there's a list. Okay, everyone should look like this. Whoever follow this the best got the best score, obviously, because it's still fundamental. And then right after that, we become like, okay, so now you take your idea, but your idea doesn't have to be the finalized idea that you have until the final. So that idea could change from your professor, like to sharpen it the way you think.
You are developing the idea.
Yes, and then
with the conversation with the teacher. Yeah,
and it's also reflect back to the type of project as well, because earlier it would be like just a abstract box or to define a spaces. That's first year, and then draw something that already exists to copy. Okay, this is a section, and then you just draw it by hand. And After that, it become more like a residential house. Those things, the project started to get a little bit bigger and bigger. Residential house, and then residential plus commercial, and then flagship store. It's got to become bigger. And then after that, you go into third or fourth year, it could become bigger and bigger. Like, you don't design just the house, quote unquote house, or a building per se. You design the environment, you design the atmosphere, you analyze the urban issue, how the people move around the city. So even though your site is like 1,000 square meter land, but you analyze the whole, sometimes the whole country.
Yes.
Sometimes the whole country.
Actually, that is, I think that is very, maybe typical from our school, I think,
Yes.
because that 4 year that in a certain way you are referring from the urban project, I think we have been working in this idea for so many years, and we have consolidated a assignment quite strong.
Yeah.
And then we put all of you guys to do a high-rise building, which is a super huge project, very complicated in the real life. So it's a lot of people involved, with engineers, architects. So it's not one architect just designing the high-rise building. So there are many things involved. But we put the students to do 100,000 square meters project, which is quite huge. But the point is, when a student go out from this school, the most typical thing that is going to do here in Thailand is to do a high-rise building, because they build high-rise building.
Yeah.
So then we need to teach how to have tools and knowledge, to serve this thing to the owner of the company. So then become a very huge proposal in the assignment, that sometimes some students are a bit overwhelmed, but that is the reality. This in my country should be, if you do a high-rise building, is probably the key project of your company. And then you will build only one high-rise building in your life, because the rest of the life you will be doing singular houses, very small, because that's the scale of the country. It's very rare to do high-rise building.
I see.
In my country. But here, in South of Asia, here in Thailand, in Singapore, the most common thing is to design a high-rise building. Because it's the typical. So that was like, we put all the knowledge to teach the student to know all the different things that you need to do to design a high-rise building.
But back in your country, Spain, when you do high-rise, you do it as a group or individual?
Because we don't do it.
Oh, you don't do it?
Because we don't have. Actually, in this, well, I lied, because there was one semester that occasionally the assignment was a high-rise building, but this doesn't mean that it's because I choose that path and that teacher proposed one high-rise building.
I see.
But it's not mandatory that because my school was really huge, like 2,500 people studying, and then there are so many departments inside the Department of Architecture, so then you can teach according to the teachers. The teacher is like a football team, right?
Yeah.
Real Madrid, Barcelona, blah, 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 and then you choose your team, and then you go with that one. And maybe that one is very experimental, another is more conservative, another more traditional, no? So then you can choose that. And then I remember that I choose one that they have one assignment that it was the high-rise building. But I just want to say that I was in my country with my daughter in April. Then we landed in Madrid, the capital city. So then you see the skyline of the city. Then my daughter per the window said, Papa, yes, what happened? They have only 4 high-rise buildings in the city. So it's totally a different world, no? So different way, no? So we are talking now about the high-rise building, this assignment. I know this proposal, right?
Yeah.
This was, I don't know, you can show us something, because I remember when we were doing this assignment with you, you come up, you were telling something right now, no, that you were proposing, basically the assignment is, Bangkok is like 2 cities in one. One is horizontal, okay, and another one is, the new one is the vertical one, right? So then the horizontal one start with timber, the first houses, no, when Bangkok was like a village, it was with timber houses. Then later they come up with another type influencing with the people from China, and then they start to build the shop houses with the concrete and timber. And that Bangkok is like 2-3 stories. No, we can talk about 15 meters, 20 meters, 9 meters high, depends. Okay, and then suddenly the new Bangkok is totally vertical with high-rise building. So then when we launched our assignment, we give only just these guidelines to teach the students to make them to observe that the city is different. No? And then I remember that we put you one location in Bangkok, that was HOK, that is the center. And then we ask you, to all of you, know, how is the future of Bangkok? How do you see Bangkok? And then how the high-rise building can represent the Bangkok, no? How do you understand Bangkok, no? And you come up with interesting ideas, no?
So
can you explain how do you see Bangkok? Being from Cambodia.
Yeah, I mean, essentially, when I see Bangkok, in a way, it was the same as where I'm from too. But mostly, it's very grounded. That is what I feel like. Even though they have a lot of high rise, but the local people, they will always revolve around the more grounded space area. So and I see Bangkok as casual in a way, that even though you have this big fancy high rise or this fancy restaurant, but next to it there's always some pagoda, street food or whatever that is. So it's very casual in a formal country in a way. Then that's why I created kind of a concept idea to start myself on what I understand Bangkok is, and I call it Bank Casual. So Bank Casual is the idea of Bangkok plus casualities, on how a city of Bangkok is, which is unique on how it can be very casual, but and then the next hour it becomes different way. So it's always changing in that urban space. So that was the idea that I come up with, and in this topic that I try to, should I show?
Yeah, you can show us.
So I made this artwork, graphic, earlier into the design stage to kind of understand myself what make Bangkok is, and what are the personality of Bangkok kind in a way. So Bangkok is everywhere. If you walk, you will see 7-Eleven in a way. So 7-Eleven is
the 7-Eleven is the convenience store, no? That you can find everything.
So 7-Eleven is everywhere. You will see shop house. You will see temples. You will see like temples next to club. You will see some contradiction of programming and functions of the city, and to produce those idea of image of the city into my high rise, I have to find connection on how I can develop this idea. So then I talked with my professor, of course, is Dan Miguel, and we were talking, and then we were talking about one ideology, which is called the McDonaldism.
McDonaldism. That is in architecture is one concept, no? That is when you produce bad architecture in a massive way, right?
Yeah, it's like
the burger, right?
Yeah,
you have a kind of a standard, and then you repeat a lot, and then you lost the good taste of the burger, no? Just to have a big quantity, no?
Yeah.
Then I remember, yes, we talked about that, and then but you went further. You developed this thing in a different way.
Yeah, for me, I see it like this. I see it as a set of standards, but if a thing is having a set of standard, which means like that thing is familiar to some people. So that's why in Thailand, I think the word 7-Elevenism is our McDonaldism, because like McDonald's is not that big. Fast food in general is not that big here. So 7-Eleven is pretty big. So I feel like
7-Eleven is something local also.
Yeah,
from Thailand, no?
Yeah.
So and it's in everywhere.
Yeah, so everywhere, is like every 5 steps you walk, you see 7-Eleven.
And you go to the 7-Eleven
Yeah.
3, 4, 5 times a day. Huh?
Yeah, so then I feel like if anything in Bangkok that is very familiar to anyone, even tourists, even the local, even the kids, the elders, even the monks, it would be 7-Eleven, the convenience store. Then for me, I try to use those ideas as a familiarity of the city. So then, in order to design the high rise, I need to translate it into tangible, something that is tangible that we can all research and know. So I asked myself like a question is what is the 7-Elevenism of Bangkok? Between what are the category that make Bangkok Bangkok in a way. So we're going deeper than just the plot of Asok. We're studying the whole city as a whole now. Then I
that is a good question. Let me interrupt. Because when we are thinking Bangkok and how is the future of Bangkok, okay, we always use urban theories, that the super block in Barcelona, the 15-minute cities in Paris, the slow city in Milano. So it's theories about how the city is going to be developed for the future. So then in this assignment, the thing that we are asking is, if Barcelona has this theory of the super block, Paris has the 15 minutes. So which one is the theory of Bangkok? No? And then you come with a very strong theory to envision the future of Bangkok, how Bangkok could be developed in the future. And that was something that, please explain us.
So
as you were doing,
So in my understanding from before I come up with the bank casual word was I need to find out what is familiarity and what was make Bangkok quite unique as a city. Then it doesn't have to be like symbolism, like Bangkok have this and that, or the signage that's what made it Bangkok in a way. But we have to understand it in terms of urban perspective deeper than that. So I find 6 majority stuff that what I, in my opinion, I did conduct the research as come as the Bangkok is a city is built of informality, which means like, what do I mean? Which means like the streets always changing and it's always a sense of informal because you would buy, for example, in Europe or in other country, you would buy like, for example, fruit or stuff you would buy in a supermarket that you have to go across into an AC conducted space. But in Bangkok or in some of the other Southeast Asian, you can buy those on a cart along the street. And then the next hour, it would change into a different type of
You're
program.
talking about the food vendors,
food vendors
that we see in the street of Bangkok.
It's like the people is improvising the city every single day. It doesn't have a
the
fix.
street is all the time changing.
All the time
24
changing.
hours.
Yes,
A good point.
And one more thing is sacred plus chaotic coexisting. This thing is quite new for me because in my country it's not popular to do this thing because you would have a sacred area and then you would have the fun and party area different way or far away. But here is what shocked me is like you would have a pagoda, right? And then next it's like walking distance to it, you would have a club or a bar or Khao Street or something like that. That is the contradiction on it's like the black and white. It's like you have sacred place and then you would have a place where you go and make sin.
Yes.
So
that is something, that contradiction is very common to find in the street of Bangkok. And that one, I mean, the people like or people hate, because they can like in a cultural shock sometimes, at least for Western.
And then those things also apply to the kind of the layered contradiction of infrastructure as well. Like you would have a very fancy building, but then like the podium, you walk across a bit, you have wet market for the locals, and then right next to it you would have a dealership. Then those contradiction of layer on how the urban is doing is quite what make a Bangkok is. So Bangkok especially in Bangkok in the city urban space, you have a lot of shop house. Everywhere is this shop house, but those shop house people would preserve the structures and they would change the facade and some of the layout quite a bit. Then the facade, some of them would be glass for some of the company or offices building. And then right next to it, the plot that they didn't buy it would just be an old rundown shop house. And those things is quite new for me as well because like normally if a block is like this, people would just develop the whole thing. But this thing is like the contradiction is quite strong as well.
So, but it's something that at the end is like you are talking like Bangkok apparently is look like it's a chaos when we see it, but it's like it's control, no?
It's control.
Like with the tiny, there is a reason to do this. But when you see everything's look like a full contradiction, but there is a kind of logic. Maybe
logic.
It's the way of how Bangkok is doing the things, no? That is the logic of Bangkok. The no logic become the logic of Bangkok.
And then I think those things also apply to the next point that I'm gonna say is like the street level energy, because once you have shop house, which means you would have shop on the street, and you have houses, which is more private on upper floor, right? So people would open the shops and whatever family business that they run on the street levels, and then you would have the pavement, you have the road. Then some of the shop they would extend it out into the pavement of your sidewalk, and then those things what make Bangkok. It doesn't have to be like as a bad thing if you eat a little bit of the street, right? So when you walk, you will see through every shop house on your right or your left, and then you will see shops. All right, so it's very ground level energy living. Even though you have a lot of high rise, but the people actually, the local or the people who experience the space is very grounded level because of those ideas.
Actually, the people is living in the street, no?
Yeah.
Of Bangkok. There is a lot of life. No?
Yeah.
When you go to the street and you see all the food vendors, the shop houses, there is people from everywhere.
Yeah.
So it's something quite the identity, no? On that.
Yeah. That's why I experience too, because sometimes you would have a destination that you want to go, for example, a restaurant, but normally it doesn't have to be on the ground. Sometimes on top of some shop house, but high rise. And that is my country as well. You would walk up 2 floors and then you have a cafe. Or in Vietnam, it's also a lot. But here it's always on the ground floor and the shop house, and then it would connect it up in a way. But some people would just open the ground floor, and then the upper is more private housing that they would live in. Yeah, and related to it is another one that I find interesting is liquid movement. It's like liquid movement.
Movement. Okay. How you explain this concept?
Which means everywhere you look, everything, everywhere, all at once is just moving a lot. And the view when you're on the ground and you look not up but not down, but you look horizontal in your eye levels, you will see your road, you will see BTS, and then you will see plane flying all over.
Yeah,
and then
that is true.
The ground level, you will see bike car running so fast, and then you will see train going the other way, going the opposite way, and then at the background you will see 7-Eleven for some reason, and then you will see a plane fly on top, and then you're like it's a bit overwhelming, but that's what makes Bangkok is you have to take everything in. So then like even though you don't notice it, because like we live in Bangkok for quite a bit, then the BTS railway along the road is not normal for me because
yeah. I never saw Bangkok in that way, no, but it's true. It's interesting. It's pop up in my mind that beside my house there is one street.
Yeah.
And yeah, when I go from my house to the BTS, I need to cross one little soil, and it's the perception, the experience, like you are saying. I mean, it's wherever I look, it's people or something moving.
Yeah.
It's true.
Fully
true. Huh?
Yeah. I think in between from the ground and the BTS, it would be the messy electric pole line.
Yeah. You need to highlight this thing because it's difficult to not see that.
Yeah. So yeah, that's how you capture the environment of an urban space, and then.
Actually, yesterday we have a review, one presentation, and then when the student going to talk about the proposal, the first thing that they highlight is this issue of the cable. So then they were explaining all the urban context of the area, and then they say, so our proposal, just to remove the cables. You are talking a lot of things about the flooding, the character of this area and all these things, and then the proposal is just to remove the cable. It's something really specific, no? That is a target, a dream of Bangkok. But I think that Bangkok is that. No, you remove the cables, it's lost a lot of the identity of the city.
Yeah.
But one day I believe that they will remove it.
Yeah.
Maybe so not remove it. If you cut, I don't think that it's going to affect it to anything.
I mean, we will remove it. We just tidy it up a bit, but but it looks good. Though. I like it.
But then all this vision is very interesting. What do you get with this vision of your Bangkok?
Yeah, after all of that understanding, like you have to sum it up in one word or one key idea to produce it more forward. So that's why I come up with the Bang Casual, which is Bangkok plus casuality. Which is the city it's a very developed country. It's a rich country, but people is still living by the improvising on their daily life, and whatever their programming function or user of the day, that's how determine the city moving in throughout the day. So it's like 24-hour metabolism. A place can be an empty street, and then at night they would close it down, open a pub.
Yeah.
and then in the next morning it become a road again, right? Or Sunday they would close it for event or whatever
Yeah.
that is. So those are the casualties of the people in living in this urban.
Actually, that one is very interesting in terms that when we ask to students to draw the same street, no, we ask you to do the front street, and then later on we ask you put the activities in the day, the activities in the afternoon, in the evening, in the night, and then see the differences, how the city become a scenario, and then the city is transforming, no, in 24 hours, totally different. All these things generate to explain how the city live and how one space is transforming. It becomes very interesting, that exercise. Sometimes we see things very, very interesting.
Yeah, because essentially architecture is all about human. It's always come to human and socialism and urban. You design a building for people. It's not like you design a building profoundly to, I'm gonna make a name for myself. It's not. I mean, like you can have that idea, but at the end of the day, you design it for a purpose. So I think to understand how the user, the one who used your building, behave or act, I think is a big point on how I at least I.
So then, if now is pop up this question, no? Then in the case that we should do this bank casually in Phnom Penh, will be different.
It would be different for sure.
Quite different things.
Yeah. It would be different because here, if you do a high rise, it work in terms of people would use or investor would invest in it. But in Cambodia, there's a lot of empty high rise building that it's either bankrupt that or after they build it, no one actually move in or use it. Yeah, so it doesn't work for now.
Why? What do you think?
I think
is the reason?
Because Cambodians don't really like to live higher upper floor, vertical. So mostly shop house or private villa. it's between the two. But right now, I just said that there's a lot of high rising in terms of the architecture firm. So people actually adapting to shop house, more of the niche shop house, nice design as well. But vertical living is not really popular right now, in my opinion. Yes, it mostly like just office building for those, but they cannot occupy the whole floor. Some floor it would be empty.
So far, I remember the Phnom Penh is happening like what in my city, no? It's only one high-rise building. How many high-rise buildings? One is the Rose Good, no? The hotel.
We have a lot now, but some of them I don't know what the building is, but we have actually a lot because there are a lot of Chinese investors that come.
Because I remember being there and then go to the airport to the city center, right? And I saw only one that is called the Rose Good.
Yeah, the Waternet one.
Yeah, and after that, that is a bit twisted, no? The top, no?
But now it's a lot of high rise. Yeah. But it's more private than public, so I'm not sure what.
I had to go again to your country. I didn't go in more than 10 years, huh?
Yeah.
Last time it was 2000. Yeah, 10 years. 2015 or 2016. Yeah.
Yeah, it's 10 years already.
Yeah, 10 years already. So then, do you have any section that you can see that verticality, how you arrange that vertical living of Bangkok?
So maybe I show this one first. So like what I just said about the concept on understanding urban.
This is a soft house, huh?
Yep.
For you guys, if you don't visit Bangkok, this is the front. Maybe you can come closer to the camera, and then that is the typical house. The ground floor is a shop, and the one on top is the living. No, the people live there. No, so then that is a typical shop house, influenced from Chinese.
Yes, Chinese and Portuguese. Then this is just conceptual and stuff, and like some of the basic programming and how I want to arrange the space. But then like for me, I'm not sure, but for me, I always do a lot of artwork to show ideas first before I even have anything yet. So I would throw a bunch of what I see in this one. So
that is a good point. What do you feel? How do you feel when you do this artwork? do you really need this thing? Do you need to express yourself to understand the thing that you are talking, and that is the reason that maybe you do this? Or
yes and no.
Yes and no.
Because one, I know what I want to do in the project already while I was doing the research, and two, for me to doing it is like me putting my ideas, just throw it out there first, and then those ideas I look at it, and then while I was doing it, producing the work, I know, oh, maybe this idea could come in around here, this idea could come in around here, or maybe afterward it's like rebuilding storytelling. And then those things is essential as well for students, is to convey your professor as well, like I'm not just talking with verbal. This is what the idea would look like if it exists. So this is the original concept idea that I throw in.
I mean, that is a very good thing, because the point is you need to express your ideas through the drawings, through the collage or something.
But the thing is, like, one thing that I need to emphasize is like it's not random per se, even though it looks random, but you have to use your resource, which means like the research that you did beforehand to produce this artwork, which means like you would have Buddha here, and then you would have people pooping here. So it's like the contradiction of program that we were just talking about. Then you would put all of those ideas into image that's easy to understand, and then you would lay on the differences of programming. You would have people partying on top of Buddha. You would have gym, and then on the top of floor you would have more like a fancier people who live up there. Then after you arrange those in a fast artwork, you can build up your story on how you first approach to start your project realistically, in a way. Yeah, and those things in just one of image, you can talk for 10 minutes, and then you can convey your professor as well. I mean, at least I did.
The professor is keen in these ideas, yes, no? Yeah, but it's true, because the point is like when you are in Bangkok city, and then you take like 15 meters of this horizontal Bangkok, and then you look where are the things that the people are doing there in the street. Then you see all the different activities in 15 meters. And then you see so many different things, a lot of craziness, like everything quite dense, all the different things that they do. And then that is in the horizontal way, so then the point is, if we put in the vertical way, so then it's the question that you try to answer. That is how we put all these activities being in Bangkok in a vertical way. So then the project becomes something like this, like everything chaotic, mixed, and then we need to organize communications,
after
to
like
reach
that random thing. Of course, every project at school you would have requirement, but sometimes it would lose a bit, sometimes it will be stricter, but the requirement is like, okay, you should have residential place, you should have commercial as a podium or not. It's depending on your concept. Then that's when you start to do technically like a conceptual diagram, or you translate your idea from that abstract way into more of a scale and realistic way. And this is a diagram that I did, inspired by Ram Koolhaas diagram, which is like you condense all of those crazy or any idea that you just throw it out there into a more feasible size, and then you arrange it on your thinking and design thinking on how those ideas could fit into the high rise. It's like you stack in Lego essentially. And then in this is very important as well, because then maybe this program shouldn't be this big. This program should be bigger, or this program shouldn't be next to this one. Maybe like we were talking about contradiction, but maybe two contradiction. It could be bad, because at least we have to sell this as well.
But the good point of this is when you are doing this drawing, since you are communicating through design, because at the end there is a high aesthetic on your drawings that you are producing, so then I believe for sure you are having fun, This thing is like you are not suffering.
No.
Like in the second year.
For the first second year, I feel like second year I was suffering more than third and fourth and even fifth year. I'm enjoying doing thesis more than
because being teacher, when I saw that the student has this kind of drawing, I can feel that there is a kind of fun, a kind of realization, that the student feel okay, doing this thing is like not suffering, and at least if you are sleeping late, at least you are enjoying with the things that you are doing, So I really appreciate this kind of work. Every time that I saw students drawing and talking about the thing with a lot of passion, I share this moment, and I'm learning also as a teacher, and then I really enjoy.
Yeah.
How we see the building? How do we see this building?
So, I mean, like
we are stacking, we are putting everything vertical. Do you have any image about
because
how
like,
these things look like?
After everything, like I always communicate my ideas and understanding through art or like collage or diagram in a way, but it's mostly abstract. But it's always talking about urbanism and the differentiation between classes. It's most of my project, even earlier one, it's like I like to talk about this a lot. So this is my idea of that high rise, because one, we have to understand it's a luxury residential high rise. People would live upper floor, ground floor would be more open as a podium to the local. You like it or not, or you like don't want to admit or not, but the idea of you going to a luxury, quote unquote luxury high rise, is you want to feel somehow superior to the standard people.
So
And
you are designing, understanding that the end of society there are
yeah,
these differences
in
on the
classes,
classes,
yes.
right?
So I mean, like one thing is like, oh, my room have this expensive bed, this expensive table. Okay, we just stop at the board. But the ideology of it is like, on human physicality is like, if I'm on the top floor and then I look down, it makes you admit it or not, but it makes you feel like, oh, I bought this place higher than everyone. You make you feel better. So then, which means like the achievement of luxuriness, it doesn't have to be expensive stuff, but the ideology of you raising that user higher than other people, that thing is the thing you achieve the luxury feeling in a way. So for example, in some of the space, it's like I have a gym which is very big, I think around 1,000 to 2,000 square meters, so big. And then in that gym there's private elevators, and then there's a private restaurant for the people who use the condo, the residential gym. But that gym, the wall that separated that gym from the hallway is glass. So then the people who is not living in that residential space can walk through that hallway, can only see it
I
through the
get it.
glass, but cannot go into it. So when you work out in that gym, you would feel superior in a way to then most people. Then I think you would achieve
I
the
understand,
designing.
because you have that feeling, no?
Yeah,
that you belong to the upper class.
Yes,
no?
you are upper class.
That this is something that at the end is also Bangkok.
Yeah.
No? I mean, the differences of the classes. I mean,
Yeah.
it's very obvious in the street, no,
Then-
in the places.
we can if anyone argue against this, we can defend our idea by, what if like that, then you can just live in a shop house and buy expensive stuff in it. Why you have to go up to see the view, amazing view of Bangkok? You can just live shop house with everybody else, and then you can make your house the most expensive one. Of course, you look better and high class, but it's just the ideology of ranking and classism. That's what I want to address this one, because. But it doesn't mean that I don't care about the normal people or the local. The podium and the open space that I did for the high rise is to associate with those ideas too. Yeah. So the more private stuff is I want to cater toward this user. This more of a more public stuff, I'm gonna cater toward the people who use it as a public one. Yeah.
Actually, you have the section. Can you show us
Yeah.
the section? Because this project we can still there are not too much time, but people start to hear about it, no?
Yep.
So it became a bit popular in the school. Okay, so then that is the section that this was exhibited in the ASA exhibition, right?
Yep.
With the panel. And then this section was very impressive, no? When you print out, and then you have this on your panel boards presentations.
Yeah.
I remember that all the young were saying like, "Oh my goodness! I mean, this drawing is so fantastic, no?" So very happy to see that the students are challenging themselves to do
Yep.
these things outside. It's not outside of the box. It's like you have a conversation with your teacher, and
Yeah.
then you also do your own part, as you did, no? That you did a very good job, no? Doing your own research, looking for similar project, looking for architects that have this kind of ideas
Yeah.
also, and then you try to learn from them
Yeah.
with the drawings. So at the end, we can a quite outstanding proposal, no? Remember that comments that we have is like the research is done quite good, the conceptual phase is quite good, the development of the production is also quite good. So it's like a complete, no?
Yeah.
It's like the student can show off, no, that all the skills in all the different
Yeah.
phases of the design, the project is fulfilled quite good, no, in a quite high level, no?
Yeah.
And all these things we appreciate, and I think we give you a good grade, no?
Certified grade. But the thing is like the just like for this area where I put image of a temple and stuff, it's actually the core that we see at the back. But the recommend of anyone who is studying or whatever is like, my suggestion is to have one impressive and amazing section that explain and talk about how you move around the space and what that space is. And then you will spend, this one I would spend like 10 hours on it or something. You will spend a lot of time on it. But then in that one graphic, you can point out so many things and you can talk about so many things. Then this is my recommendation. It's like you would focus on one main, I call it main section, that you want to talk about or express your idea as an architect, or like your artwork or your style in that sections. And then you would have other point, smaller stuff that you talk about construction details, facade design, or more like a construction base, or more detail that you want to zoom in and out to talk about. That's what I did in this project and the last one as well.
That is a good point, because actually it's happened the same thing to me also, no? When I was a student, I thought that you want to get a good grade, it's like you need to do all these complicated forms. And then when you start to go in that direction, suddenly you go with form and shape that this doesn't make sense at all. And then you become confused because it's so complicated.
Yeah.
And then you are spending all the semester to try to solve geometrical issues with the shape that you do. But that is not the thing that you need to explain in one assignment in architecture. In one assignment in architecture, is like you need to explain your theory, your concept, then how you develop and produce all the drawings, and then you give us the construction and the materiality, how you define the materials that to build this project. So it's not like should be something complicated, because at the end is you are young. All these things, you cannot do everything with 25 years, from 20 to 25. It's like we know that there is a time, okay, and then it's like at least that you get more complex thinking from the first year, second year, third year, okay? But this doesn't mean that you need to do something crazy, Many students that I saw that become with the crazy things was at the end become like a shell, that we just do a nice roof or a nice shelter, with all this fancy thing, but later the project is empty, This project is like there is a lot of thinking behind, and we could visualize how to materialize them.
I think like the most important thing is everyone talking about it. Like the modern architecture is like you would have a form follow functions. It's just everyone know about it, but no one actually use it in terms of details on. So that's why I try to understand all the urban and what the building actually need before I produce form for now. Then of course you would take in the law, Thai law, the requirements, square meters, all of those things out of the way. Then those things and the human activity and the ideas and the research theory, it would shape your building throughout it. And then you would have more a solid base on why your designs like this and that. Yeah, but of course, if you have aesthetic purposes on how you want to design your building differently, it's different from students as well. It's not right or wrong.
And the good thing is the process also, because I remember the first day that you came to me talk about this idea, and then how you start to develop, and then we back again, and then we start to make it more complex, and then at the end become the super assignment, because you fill every gap.
Yeah.
So then the things that one student should be afraid is this thing that they come here, I'm going to talk with the teacher, I'm afraid because maybe my idea is too simple. So then the point is you come, you explain. The things that I recommend is to draw the idea, because if you put a good drawing that can communicate your concept, even that is very simple, then it's a good starting point in order to start a conversation and start to build up the assignment. So then remember that the first idea, that you were talking to me, and then we said, coming from the West, I remember that there is one concept about the McDonaldization that is like the things that we explained before. So then you start, okay, I'm going to think, and then how to transform this idea into the East. So then you start there, your thinking process for this, and then you come up with more complex and more things, but all within the same logic.
Yeah.
And then we can see how the project going up, and very interesting. No?
So the things like this one, I remember the first ever desk critique that I had with you was my idea was simplified. Essentially, it was just I want to translate Bangkok into high rise, and that was it.
You still have that
Yeah,
diagram?
that was the first ever slide that I showed.
That is something that I really quite like, no? That is you take a portion of the city, right? You take a portion of the city that is the top view, right? And then you flip it, you put in vertical, and then become like this, no? So the top view is this one, the horizontal one, then you flip it and put in vertical, no? So then we need to think how to make these things work in the vertical way, no?
So essentially, it just started from some. You just throw idea first. It's shallow, maybe like but later on, of course, you're gonna develop from it. That's what. Yeah.
I think the good point of this thing is like many students get stuck with the first idea.
Yeah.
So then you need to get something very basic but very well drawn. So when this explain, it communicate the things really accurate, no? And then by that things, another question will come. Then you will start to build your own theory, your own vision, and then after 4 months, you are going to have something wonderful for sure. No?
There's like I
4 months because it's the duration of the semester, it's the duration of this assignment. Right?
Yeah, including model too, which is very big. so how I do the presentation slide or PowerPoint or whatever concept that I try to develop is like this. This is what I follow by since urban design project. It's like, okay, now I talk about this, but then like I try to think myself, is there any problem with this idea? So I imagine, Ajahn would ask me why it's like this, or the Ajahn would ask, why it should be like this, or why it have to be like this. Then after that idea, for one word alone, you separate into maybe 5 research to back yourself up. Why it should be like this idea, and why will it work, and who would use it, and stuff like that. Because those things are the question that most likely the professor would ask. For example, okay, my idea was to make the building sustainable, and then the professor was like, why do you want it to be sustainable? Then you would back up yourself. You would do research. Why is it sustainable? It's not like I can just think overnight, right? And then after that, okay, then sustainable because this blah blah blah. And then they would ask, then sustainable, it doesn't mean just plant trees. Then how would you achieve that? Then you will research more. Then that's why I feel like if you can develop in concept, it's just you have one main concept, and it doesn't have to be stick like that. It can change, and make sure to not have a clear fix on what your building gonna look like yet, because in development conceptual and stuff, you would have changes so much.
So you should be with a kind of flexible mindset, no? Because you know that things can be changed. But this is a good point, because when you designing, you have your idea, and then you start to imagine what are going to be the questions that the jury, the teacher is going to tell you. All these things helping you also to produce conceptual diagrams to explain, that potential question that someone is going to do, and then you start to build up, and become quite dense and quite complete. That is a good tip. I think it's a good tip for the juniors.
That's at least what I do in a way. Because like you try to essentially in architecture and every presentation, even desk critique or pin up board, you try to defend your own idea, while also taking criticism from the professor who know better than you, of course. And then you develop your idea stronger and stronger. But
how do you take the criticism?
I take it very well. I think.
You handle or?
Yeah, I handle, because I remember when I was studying with Professor Op.
Okay.
And then after urban, we go into more detail on the project, and he asked all the students to come up with anything to talk to him. I come up with 6 case study and a lot of conceptual model and all the research. And then he looked at me with the face. He said, "Shrek, this is boring." Then I was like, I agree right away, because while I was explaining to him, I was like, "This is not it. This is not going to work." While I was explaining to him, like, my idea is not good. It's not that deep yet. And then he just told me to face like, "Shrek, this is boring." And then like, okay, it's boring because I even realized while I was presenting that it's not work. Then I was like, I don't agree. And then I went back home, scrapped everything, and then I started again. Why is it boring? Or how do I make this better? And then start develop the contrast project that I did. The
You see,
museum.
make me remember. We have one. One student from Cambodia, from your country. Forgot the name now. And then he did a lot of ideas. No, he developed everything, but the result it was very ugly, very ugly. And then I remember when I saw the outcome, the visualization. Then I remember I told him something that we are architects, no? Even that you explain your theory the way that you understand. At the end is you are creating one image in the city, no, with a high-rise building, no. So there is a point that is the aesthetic, no, the beauty of the things, no. So it should be something that when you look the building, there is something that is elegant, beautiful. It's not like it's superficial, no, but should be something that is attractive to the eyes, no? Because I remember that the building was like the chicken satay, you know, that you had the chicken, right? Yeah. Then you had the chicken with the stick, and then you just grill and then become flat, and then you just put like this. So it was very very ugly.
I see.
And then he was that moment we were with the COVID, and then the students saw me on the corridor later when we at the end of the semester. And then he was telling me that he was really, really destroyed with that thing because he spent a lot of time. And then I make the question, can you tell me, because it looked like I told him something like, can you tell me what is the beauty of this? And then he could not answer. And then he was like, fuck up.
I think form follow function too much could be bad too.
Like he couldn't. And then he said that he was spending like, so how can I, because for him everything has a meaning, no? About this thing is because of this, but the result was ugly. And then when I asked this question, he realized that the building was really ugly. So then that was the thing, no? So then you come up with your detail, or this is something that we also talk about it.
So
That is to make a construction detail, no, to explain. But you can also put maybe some construction detail and final visualization, no, for the people to see how the things look like.
This is like a detailed drawing of the rooftop of the upper floor area where you have facade and material here, and this is the cross section showing the structure here, the truss and stuff. It could be improved a lot, but I feel like this one is a good one as well. But you in a way that you want to understand and want to show that what is the activity in it, on what the space is, the structures, detail on how the composition of the whole space, and the material facade on what it looks like in the front in a way. So essentially, like in this one, it's like this lower window is a decoy window, which means like people won't be able to see it well. But this is the actual window. So when you look out, you can see the light through this window, but you cannot see the secret activity of people inside the space because the window is up here. So then you could just see the light, but the people actually, if you do it, people actually in this solid mass over here. Then people will see that the open space, like, oh, there's a light in here, but in a way they won't know what the activity inside, because that's going back to, I say, like the superior idea or stuff like that. And then in my project, I have this diagonal gardens, which uses a lot of mega truss to kind of hold the glasses, tempered glass floor for the people, so that they can look all the way down into the ground floor and all the way up, and then you will see like a green view of tunnel in it. And then this is the detail of it. You would have the construction drawing here, and then this is the facade on what the glasses look like as well. I mean, you can do people jumping off of the building and smoking a cigarette or whatever, just to express your idea, make the drawing lively, like that.
Actually, you produce a good compilation of drawings from the idea, from the research until the end. people can follow you or something in somewhere to see your work or not?
Yes,
you
all
have
of
any Instagram account or something?
yeah, I can promote myself.
Yeah,
So,
you can promote, no?
So all of this idea and all the project or some of my personal project that I just produced or the coming up thesis, I post a bit already is in my
You
architecture.
shouldn't post your thesis.
Sorry,
You shouldn't post anything about your thesis yet.
I just post the title.
Okay. Because the
selling
thesis,
ideas.
until you don't submit and then you pass, is something that is very confidential,
Yeah.
no? Because if someone takes your idea, maybe
Yeah,
copy, develop, okay? So
Oh,
then
I
the
see.
thesis, this assignment is okay, but the thesis is something very private until the day that
Okay.
you already pass.
Okay.
Because if not, someone can copy and then we can say you are doing plagiarism.
Oh.
So be careful with
Okay.
your own thesis. Huh?
The more you learn, learn every day. Of course, you have to do that. So then my IG is ta.studio.
Maybe you can show on your mobile.
Yeah.
You can go to your Instagram and then put there, and then the people can put there.
See this one. Okay, so
This-
all of my work is in here.
Okay, then
So-
we can see something, right?
Yep.
Very beautiful drawings, very beautiful things.
Yep.
I remember to visit you. You were doing the internship in Vince Bensley,
Yes.
and I remember when I was talking with your advisor, I saw him your Instagram account and the one of Nia, another student that can have a talk another day. And then you guys start to post the drawings that you are producing in the architectural school
Yep.
and become very professional already, no?
It's like my unofficial name card. Right now, when I make it right now, I know that even my dad's friend who's into architect or like an architect famous already there, I was like, just show them my Instagram account, promote me there.
Yeah.
So it's like my name card. It's like
Correct.
I ask other people to follow it.
Before the people in my age, it's like we need to have our business card, and now it's like you need to have your Instagram account of architecture, to promote your work, which is really really fantastic. I remember you were showing the work, the one that you did with Sampawat to one person. That one. I remember the comments.
Which one?
Even the comments of Vince Bensley, that we didn't finish with that. Your advisor said that this very professional. Three of you, the one of Vince Bensley, it's like very professional work. And it's like we are in a student level.
Yeah.
But they call it professional.
Yeah,
so it's very
good compliment.
yeah. I mean, for the students, perfect. But for the Ajan also, it's like we are sending already the student in a professional level, And I remember that we did this exhibition, and there was one guy visiting the exhibition, and then you present your work with Ajan Op, and then he was telling me, this guy is very professional, He's talking very professional, the drawings very professional, everything very professional.
Yeah.
So it's very good that you can achieve this level in the school,
Thank you.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You don't know how to say now.
Yeah,
Compliment, Compliment on live.
Just
on the YouTube.
Just
By the way, you can subscribe also to the YouTube. You can click like, you can do any comment and subscribe to the channel.
Yes.
More students will come later on.
Yeah. It's such a good, I think it's such a good platform to do, because like if the freshmen can just look at it and how experienced and can be open, can be honest. It's a good one.
I think the thing that we need to improve, I think it's in all the universities, but is to, the vertical communications, the people from the first year mixing or knowing what is the thing that the people in the fourth, fifth year is doing.
Yeah.
I remember in my school that this is something that we should be doing in this one. In my school in Madrid, there were, you can submit your thesis 3 times a year, because there were so many people that there was like in October, in February, and the other one is in May.
I see.
So I submit in October. But the work of all the students later is pinned out on the corridors of the school.
I see.
So then the first year, the second year can see what is the thing, the end, What is the thing that you need to achieve, So then it's easy for the first, second year when you start to see on the corridors of your school the work of your senior. Then it's easy to start to build, okay, I need to learn this skill, I need to know this software. the printout. Remember that I learned how to draw and how to use the line weight because I saw my seniors drawing, right? And then that way, when I am here, I always talking about the line weight. The line weight. Don't print out the night before the submission because to have a very good drawing with a very good printout, you need like 2-3 days to test in the line weight. And once that you understand that thing, maybe you can shorten that timing, no? But to print out the line weight, at least the first 2 times, it takes time. Once that you have that file, then you can use like your standard to print, and then all these things will come faster, no?
Yes.
But this is something that we should improve here. That is, we put at least panel board, 2 panel boards, and then the student of the first year can see what is the thing that they are going to be doing. And it's one way to increase the level, no? That we have been doing this thing this year, yesterday, in the first review of the urban proposal. All the students know how to do already strict sections. And they are capable to do the strict section in 2 weeks. And the first time that we were doing this thing, it took like
almost a month. Yeah, a month.
And then explain, no, the shop house is not like this. You take the photo, you draw what you see. And yesterday, it's like everybody, I don't know if you guys start to share the file, the people start to see, and then everybody do sections super nice.
So this is the section I did for the urban. Which I talked to the junior as well on how I do this or make this and what to look in. Especially, I think the key point is what to put in there, essentially, because like it's depend on what story you want to tell. If you want to talk about the infrastructures of the building, then maybe I wouldn't use this base, not so detailed shop house. But this one I want to talk about the activity of those streets and how the movement of the car and the people is. So that's why I think it's changing. And to make a great street section to document essentially survey is to be able to focus on a lot of smaller details. And in terms of every detail, in terms of the negative stuff, so some of the water around the alley that I was studying in, it wasn't so great. There was trash and stuff. So maybe you can put those in so that you can raise a concern and you talk about it, and then it just showed that you actually care and pay attention to
and sorry, of this, you told me that you submit some drawings, no, for competitions,
right?
International competitions. Do you have some of this drawing that you submit?
Yeah. So
has been issued already, or
not yet.
Not yet.
So the drawing is I put the high rise
because at the end you become quite confident, no, with your drawings that you produce very nice stuff, no. So then you can use your assignment in the school for international competition.
So this isometric diagram of the whole high rise with all the people and activities.
Fantastic.
This
one look fantastic.
You see the contradiction between the timber on the left and then the vertical diagonal garden with all the structures, and then the glasses on the right, which is one is a residential public park, and you would have a commercial area here. So all of this is to show all the activities and ideas in there. So this one I submitted into the competition as well, including the section. But also this one is one of my favorite. Actually, I like this a lot because this one I made it in Revit and D5. Yes.
Revit
and D5, and then I using D5 Pro because our school is partnership with D5, which is very humble. So we got D5 Pro, so I actually enhanced AI on it. But I suggested to enhance AI on the software itself, not to take it out and enhance some because the D5 AI actually recognized the material is already in it. So that's why it looks realistic in a way.
This one is very interesting because I've got to explain this concept. You see, in the moment that you put a glass, okay, this building is very heavy because it's huge. It's a super large building. The scale is very big, occupied a lot of space. But when you use the glass, the reflection of the sky is coming to the facade, and then it looks like the building disappears. No?
Yeah.
So then you can remark any diagonal, like Shrek is doing here, and then you can express some intention very clear in the facade. No, so that make the drawings much more better, no?
So the idea was
fantastic. That's fantastic.
Yeah, the idea was this is the conceptual idea from the start. Like on everything, you just do it. sometimes it would hit, sometimes it does not, but at least you produce something that you show yourself who you are as a person. I think in terms of designing. So then this reflect. I put it next to this one because like to show the progress of how I develop it, because it's also a metaphor. Like the ground floor to the local is more like a already solid base for people that already involved in it, and this newer mass is a clearer one that it just come up as a newer one. So then there's a contradiction and explaining this whole idea of the project as well. And this is the final model. This one is the final models.
Final model that this was really huge and really fantastic with a lot of detail, and it was really spectacular, to see this thing in the class.
So this one is the back. I open up to show all the structures and all the three core, because I think that my high rise was unique part was a bit of the structure as well. So that's why I want to show off it a bit. But then like the facade is more like this, which is the mass timber constructions, and then this one is just the conventional glass and normal columns.
Can you show us this evolution?
Oh yeah.
Okay, because this kind of diagrams to show the evolution of one idea until more or less the final, conceptual models, But we see from what we start and then how Shrek develop until not the end, because the end is the final one that he showed us before, But the different process, the thinking, really fantastic.
Yeah. So essentially, this one is just like I made it the height limit and Thai law and all the core for now in terms of structure, and then I try to put on the mass, and it feels like it's too solid. So I wanted to appoint some of the green space on the upper floor and to the high rise. So that's why I create this contradiction of diagonals space to create those slit inside the mass. And then this one is like more like a study that we did on how to weigh down the weight of the structures, because my high rise looks like it's leaning a bit because there's a missing mass on the bottom here. So we test it out by making model, and then we tilted. This one should have weight to like counter it on this way so that it can almost like a pooling. Then this one is holding it, and you would put Buddha on it. So it was fun, but then like it was also so complicated as well. And then after you test out all the structures and stuff, you start to build it up on your vision on what the differences. And then I did more like a detail, but not really of the whole structures. And this one is like I separate the material and starting to convey more idea. But this one I stopped doing models for that time, and then I start producing more because I understand what the objective is already. And then later on, it would become just this one, and then you would put it into the urban space, and then you would do the main one, the biggest one. I did it in this room actually.
No,
sorry.
But it's okay. It's the
same room.
Because it's like McDonald's says.
Yeah.
The plans are the same. Yeah. Okay, Shrek, we are here already 1 hour and 37 minutes. I think we talked quite a lot.
Yep.
Okay. And then we should be ending this thing a little bit. I will continue talking with you, But I have to 2 o'clock. I should be in another place.
I have class too.
Okay, but to end up this thing, how do you see yourself in the next 5 years?
Probably I see myself would be working, or I'm not sure yet if I want to continue the master degree or something, but being an intern at Bensley was giving me a reality check on what the professional working environment is, and how everything is kind of coming, or how you think as an architect kind of differently than your students. So right now I'm still thinking for now on how I want to do my next chapter. Is either continuing master degree, because that would open more of windows for me as a finding jobs later on, or I can cross my finger and just go into the work field for a little bit and then do master degree later on.
Okay.
Yeah,
but you don't have idea to open your own company, your own firm?
Of course, I want.
Or you work for others first?
Essentially it's that way. It's like I want to gain more experience and make myself more mature as a designer and as an architect, or as a person in general. Maybe like 3 to 5 years of professional working, and then I would decide either master degree or not. If I don't need it, then I don't have to do it. And then after that, I would be hopefully established enough to open my own firm It's either in Cambodia or in other country as well. I'm okay with anywhere.
I saw you in Cambodia, no?
Yeah.
During the modern Cambodia architecture.
Yeah.
No? So I hope to go there and one day read the news and then what this is?
Shrek. Then I would know by VITHIA and not Shrek. Change the name, more professional.
Yes. Okay, Mr. Rek, it has been a pleasure to talk to you.
Me too.
We can do a session number 2 and then we can stay here 2-3 more hours.
Yeah.
Okay. Anything that you would like to say, Junior? Anything that you want to say to someone? You have here
I just
the camera for you.
Just
you have the
to
camera?
As a I don't like that word, but as a senior.
No, let's go to do like this. Let's go to bring the camera now to Shrek, and then he's going to say bye-bye.
Okay.
And then he's going to give you the tip or anything.
Okay.
Okay, and it's just your moment.
Okay.
For me, see you next time. Huh?
Yeah, for me, I would like to say just if you're looking to starting to go into architectures, you should. If you like art, if you like painting, if you want to do abstract work, if you want to do fine art, architecture cover everything, even urban politics. Sometimes you want to raise it up. Religion, I'm doing religion right now for thesis actually, but yeah. So go for it. If you feel like you want to do artistic or animation, but then like you don't know what the job market is, architecture cover everything. So come. And then for the student who is as a freshman, don't be overwhelmed. Keep fighting because my first and second year it wasn't great. My grade wasn't great too, and the way I see stuff is very negative. But after that, I developed as an architecture student. It become better. I promise. If you lock in. So yeah, that's it.
Okay, guys. Thank you so much, and see you next time. Huh?
Bye.
Thank you so much, Shrek.